Right now, we go behind the scenes and into the dressing room of two-time world champion Bobby Czyz, who is just moments away from launching his comeback. Perhaps the best way to sum up the 14-year fight career of Czyz, it has been a roller coaster ride. With that, Bobby Czyz provides this self-portrait.
I became a boxer in the first place because of the obsession of one man, Robert Czyz Sr., my father. As young men, my brothers and I were mandated that we would undertake boxing for X number of years until he decided we could quit. But at that time, I knew nothing else, and the obsession became mine. My father was obsessed with perfection. He was obsessed with production, getting results, producing results, and sometimes treated my brothers and myself like little machines. He wanted us to be grown-ups overnight, yet never out of his control, never out of his reach. But in the end, before my father passed away, I came to understand him, and now that I've become a parent, I understand him even better. In the early 1980s, I wasn't part of a package called Tomorrow's Champions until an opportunity arose where I filled in for one of Tomorrow's Champions. It became somewhat of a network sensation overnight. It was the NBC Sports World days in the early 1980s, and I was entitled White, Bright, and Polite, but Can He Fight? And from there on, we found out. In 1986, I fought a Yugoslavian named Slobodan Kačar to capture the vacant IBF Light Heavyweight World Championship. I was very excited. This was the culmination of a lifetime's worth of work that was going to be achieved or lost in 1 hour of one day. And I felt it was my time. I felt great that day. In October of 1987, I lost my first world championship. One of the most devastating blows in my career and in my life. If I had won that fight, I would have eventually gone on to fight who I thought was my destiny, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. The Hearns fight was gone. My title was gone. In June of 1989, after my second loss to Prince Charles Williams, and after having tried to also get my world championship back against Virgil Hill, I retired. I was 27 years old and was frustrated. It was a premature retirement. Professional boxing was not finished for Bobby Czyz. I needed another world championship. March 8th, 1991, 20 years to the day after Smokin' Joe Frazier beat one of my childhood idols, Muhammad Ali, I was given the opportunity to make history. 2 world championships, and I'll tell you what, it was a great day for me emotionally and physically, probably my finest hour. Well, recently I stopped fighting because of a car accident where I had an impacted fracture of my hip and some serious tendonitis in my right shoulder, left side of my neck, bruised ribs, tailbone. So that's kept me off for quite a while. And the back's not quite 100%, nor is the neck. But we're slowly and steadily getting there. I couldn't defend my title within the structure of the rules based on the WBA's injury rules. So they told me if I didn't give it up, they would strip me. So I relinquished the title and was assured that when time was right, I was ready, I could get a shot at it without a problem. I continue fighting now for one thing and one thing only, to get to the big one. I've paid my dues, I've withstood the test of time, I've met the challenge time and time again. 2 world championships in 4 different weight divisions. I want the big one, and that's why I'm still here.
Yes, Bobby Czyz, a fighter who has certainly had more than his share of dramatic twists and turns. Ferdy, how about your overview of Bobby Czyz's career?
I think if you had to think of one word, I think satisfactory. He came out of the chute real fast. When we had him on NBC, he won every fight, and he looked great. And then he went on to win 2 championships. He had his ups and downs. Emotionally, he took some real body shots with the untimely death of his father, several other things that happened to him. But now he's very happily married. He's got a baby girl he loves a lot. He's riding high on the hog right now. He loves boxing. He wants to be in boxing. I think his career has been a very satisfactory career.
What do you expect to see tonight?
Well, I think it's Bobby Czyz's stress test. This is more of a medical test than it is a boxing test. In O'Mara, he faces a human sponge. A George Chuvalo award goes to this guy because he can take a lot of punishment. The bad news is that if he can't get him out in the first 4 or 5, he's got to go the 10. That's a lot of stress on a bad back. Bobby's not 100% yet. That's a lot of stress on his back. So Bobby faces a true test here with his journeyman, but very tough fighter who can take a lot of punches.
Yeah, Czyz has expressed a concern about that. Let's take a look at Czyz's opponent. Here he is, George O'Mara, out of the Camden, Cherry Hill, New Jersey area. O'Mara, 38 years old, a record of 13-11-3 with 8 knockouts. Now makes his home in L.A. And after starting his career like a bullet with 8 straight wins, he has only 2 victories since 1980. He did manage to go the distance in his last fight with Alex Garcia this past January. And there he is, Big George O'Mara, the Tex Cobb look-alike, considered by many to be a heavyweight. That's heavyweight in size, not boxing stature. Because of O'Mara's size, Czyz told us he feels he'll probably have more rounds on his hands than he really wants. And let's take a look at two-time world champion Bobby Czyz on the verge of his first ring walk since May 8, 1992. Czyz battling back from hip and back injury, suffered in an automobile accident, ready to take this major step after sitting it out for nearly 2 years. Tonight, the pride of New Jersey steps out from behind the Showtime microphones to lace him up one more time. Two-year-old Bobby Czyz out of Wanacue, New Jersey, now makes his home in Montgomery Township, New Jersey. A world champion of the light heavyweight and cruiserweight divisions. Czyz hopes to be on a collision course with the legendary Tommy Hearns, a highly anticipated cruiserweight showdown in the near future. Czyz 40-5, 26 KOs over his 14-year career. Let's see how they stack up on paper. We go to the tail of the tape. Both Czyz and O'Mara in the 30-something age bracket. O'Mara 38, Czyz 32. The 2-inch height advantage for O'Mara. Czyz tipped the scales at 196, O'Mara 198.5. And the 1.5-inch reach advantage for O'Mara. Let's check the rules for this 10-round non-title affair. 10-point must system in effect. 3 judges scoring the fight. No standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. So coming up here at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, moments away from our co-feature, the comeback of Bobby Czyz, who takes on George O'Mara. Set for the official introductions. We go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Charlotte Coliseum in beautiful Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina, as we have a big night of action coming away, brought to you by Don King Productions and Corona Beer. At this time, we bring to you one of our featured bouts of the evening as we present Cruiserweights in the Ring, a special attraction that is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Presenting the judges as appointed by the Charlotte Boxing Commission, Leo Johnson, Johnny Richardson, and Murray Rosen. Introducing to you the referee in charge of this bout. He will be giving instructions after the introductions, Charlie Hammond. All right, fans, here we go with a Cruiserweight special attraction that is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing red, white, and blue trunks, and hailing from the great city of Los Angeles, California. He weighed in at 198.5 pounds, and his record includes 13 wins, 11 losses, 3 draws, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome a fighter they call the Wild Irishman, George O'Mara. Opponent across the ring. On my right, fighting out of the red corner in this cruiserweight special attraction, he is wearing white trunks with black trim and fighting out of Princeton, New Jersey. He weighed in at 196 pounds, and his record includes 40 wins, 5 losses, with 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former IBF light heavyweight and WBA cruiserweight champion of the world, the current number 2 ranked contender, introducing Bobby Chappie Czyz. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Charlie Hammond.
No standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. You can be saved by a bell in the last round only. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Bobby Czyz hasn't fought in 22 months. Told me he feels 65 to 70% recovered from hip, back, and neck injuries from an automobile accident. O'Mara, with an all-out, awkward, rough style, says, if I give it 100%, I believe I can beat Czyz. I didn't fly all the way down here from L.A. just for the scenery. So here it is, round 1 scheduled for 10. Bobby Czyz and George O'Mara.
And while they call him Big George O'Mara, I don't see anything big to him. I mean, he looks like a cruiserweight that's overweight. That's all he looks like.
After long stretches of inactivity, discouraged after losses to Ron Lyle, Yaki Lopez, generally disgusted. His wife left him. O'Mara now remarried. He got into acting. Decided to come back recently. Bobby Czyz pressing the attack, looking to end this thing early.
And Bobby is very sharp right now. His punches are right on the target. And Bobby, while he says he needs 5 rounds, looks like he wants to get out of here in 1.
Yeah, Bobby said because of O'Mara's size, I'll probably have more rounds than I want, but I need the work. Czyz says O'Mara's very slow. He can't outbox me or outpunch me, but he can make things rough on my body, and he does have a good chin, said Bobby. He said this will be a test, particularly to see how my back holds up if the fight goes late.
I think that's a big test of all, his back and his neck, because if he gets to pushing and pulling and tugging, that's bad for Bobby. But Bobby is landing very hard shots. Czyz is landing with hooks to the body and to the head and right on the butt. I don't know if this guy can take that kind of punch.
Czyz's speed will probably compensate for anything against O'Mara. Czyz said he felt good. Some of the old moves are coming back. He said, I've got to get back to the rigors of hitting and being hit.
Well, now it's just settled down to just a little bit of a pause. We can say that O'Mara looks a lot like Tex Cobb, and also Strauss the Mouse, the legendary journeyman Bruce Strauss, they call him Mouse, one of the most lovable characters in boxing.
Fought on every continent but Antarctica.
I think he fought there with Perry.
O'Mara told us people always come up to him and say, "You look like Tex Cobb. You guys could be twins." And he says, "One of us should be insulted."
Well, he's certainly Bobby is certainly putting hard jabs in, hooks. Almost everything he throws, like the right hand there that should have knocked him flying just then. Bobby is landing almost with impunity. Nothing's coming back, and Bobby is just teeing off.
So Bobby Czyz has to feel good. A productive first round in his comeback fight. His first fight in close to 2 years.
And Czyz has to worry because they've already butted heads a couple of times. And the way this guy comes in with a wild head attack, Bobby could get cut here.
Less than 15 seconds in round one. After viewing a tape of O'Mara, Czyz describes his opponent as a tough guy, but tough doesn't necessarily mean you're a good fighter. It means you're able to absorb a lot. Well, O'Mara has been doing a lot of absorbing here in round number one.
Let's take a look at this rally. Really, the whole fight is the whole round is a rally because Bobby Czyz barely missed here. What I've noticed in the corner there is a certain out of breath. I mean, he tried a little too hard in the first round, hadn't faced him, and he looked like he was gasping for breath. But you know, when you've been out 22 months, this is what you expect. That's why it's important to get this fight under your belly.
Bobby Czyz obviously over anxious. Round two against 38-year-old in again, out again, George O'Mara, who you may have seen in Lethal Weapon and Rocky III. He was knocked out by Mr. T in Rocky III. He's a part-time actor when he's not fighting. I asked him today exactly why he decided to get back into the fight game. He said NASA wasn't hiring that day.
The best line of the year. We put that in the Showtime book of good lines.
He also said boxing was cheaper than a psychiatrist's couch. An engaging personality. But right now, Bobby Czyz is trying to put an end to that personality, at least for the evening.
Well, when you have a record like his, it's a good thing you got a good sense of humor. Because he's not going anywhere in boxing. Bobby
Czyz, over the years, always displaying an entertaining, aggressive style. A lot of people would look forward to an eventual showdown between Czyz and Hearns. That would be a fan's fight. Good left. Flick there. Shotgun jab by Bobby Czyz, effective.
Bobby's jab looks like he never left boxing. Looked like he just boxed last month. Very sharp. And the target is right there. This guy doesn't seem to know how to slip a jab.
And a right by Bobby Czyz. That landed. And again, the crisp shotgun jab of Czyz.
See how he comes in with his head. He's hooking to the body, but he's coming in. Bobby's just said something to the referee. Came in with his head. Dangerous for Bobby Czyz.
Czyz began his career with 20 straight wins as a middleweight. But in fight 21, he lost to Mustafa Hamsho in '82, broke his right hand in that fight. Then his father took his own life shortly thereafter. So really beset with physical and mental anguish. His once bright future took a dark turn, but less than a year later, he bounced back, won 8 in a row. Then he won the IBF light heavyweight title. Later on, won the cruiserweight title, but hasn't fought since May of '92, a 12-round decision over Donnie Lalonde. He had to relinquish the belt in '93 due to the physical problems stemming from the car accident.
Well, you know, Bobby had some very dark days after his father passed there, and we all thought he couldn't come back. We were just feared he couldn't get it back together, but he did. He's had, as I said, a satisfactory and proud career. Oh, nice shot by Bobby. Good left hook. But look at this guy. He's still standing, still coming. This guy looks like he just walked out of a bar and wants to have an alley fight. There's no style. It's just straight ahead Tony Galletto stuff.
George O'Mara now pulling his way into Czyz, fighting off the ropes.
Punch out.
O'Mara 13-11 and 3 knockouts, has won only 2 fights since the year 1980. His last fight was a decision loss to the rated Alex Garcia, January 20th. Big right hand by Czyz that got through.
And I think he's broken his nose for the 20th time. A nice spurt of blood just came out just then because Bobby landed right on the broken nose of O'Mara.
Right, come on.
Big punishment by Bobby Czyz on O'Mara. Big round for Bobby. Take a look at these two replays, which show Bobby Czyz in just command of his style. He is punching from all angles. He's putting combinations together. And he's later in this same round, you see Bobby, look at that, a little jab, a hook, and then the right hand right over. Bobby is in command of his style right there. Problem is this guy's so tough. Let's listen to Czyz.
It's about jumping work. He's going to quit. He's going to quit. Get them buckets out of there. That's it.
Veteran trainer and cut man Tommy Parks in the corner of Bobby Czyz. Pat Goosen, one of the many Goosens in boxing, in the corner of George O'Mara.
And he's saying to him, Bobby is moving you around and too slick. You got to keep your hands up. And of course, you know, Bobby's moving him around because he's a superior boxer. And he's keeping his hands up doesn't help him because he doesn't know how to move his head. And he doesn't bob and weave. And he's just getting hit by everything Bobby wants to throw out there. Czyz's jab is perfection right now.
I asked Bobby if he's learned anything that might work to his advantage in the ring from announcing. He replied, yes, having interviewed so many fighters in preparation for fights, I know not to say anything stupid that I can't back up in the ring. Well, he's been very intelligent in the ring thus far here. In round 3, the first 2 rounds are controlled clearly by Bobby Czyz, utilizing a very effective and crisp shotgun jab.
Yeah. Bobby's problem is going to come along in here if he doesn't put this guy away. This is great while Bobby's got all his steam and speed, but when he starts to slow down and this guy's still there, he's got to step it up to try to put the guy out. He's got to get him out by round 4, 5, 6, or else it's going to start to be a tough night.
But predicted by Bobby Czyz, he said against a guy like O'Mara, wouldn't be surprised if he went into the later rounds.
O'Mara looks like he's bothered by that nose. I mean, he should be. His nose is all over his face to begin with. He's had it broken so many times. You see him pawing at it. He's trying to get it. The bone just may be out of place there because it's bothering him a lot.
The biggest opportunity of O'Mara's career, never able to make the jump to the big time. Losses to Ron Lyle, Yaki Lopez, left him discouraged. Round 3 continues. Czyz going to the body, less than a minute remaining in the third, scheduled for 10. I asked O'Mara, what's tougher, boxing or acting today? He said, getting the acting job is tougher. Once you get the job, it's easy. And he says in the movies, he always loses. Well, been having difficulty in real life, too.
Let him go. Break. Come on, step back.
Again, there's the jab, but that time O'Mara able to slip and slide away. And I think you're right, Bertie. It looks as if O'Mara's nose, once again for the umpteenth time, has been broken.
That, along with a depressing statistic that he's not won since 1980, did you say?
Yes.
That is what you call patience.
Bobby Czyz saying to the referee, Charlie Hammond, how about the head? How about the head? Again, O'Mara comes in with the head. Round 3 ends. Well, coming up, our co-feature, the NABF Cruiserweight Championship after this one, as we go backstage into the dressing room of former 6-time world champion Thomas Hitman Hearns, standing by for the first defense of his title against Freddie Delgado. Hearns now rated number 1 by the WBC, number 3 by the WBA, 6th by the IBF. That will be coming up a little later here in Charlotte, North Carolina on Showtime Championship Boxing.
That's it. Okay.
You gotta start landing some punches now, okay?
Yes.
Come on. You gotta get
get lucky. You gotta get lucky.
Oh, yeah. Put your hands on. Get lucky. No pain.
O'Mara says, I'm doing well, no pain. I guess that's when you haven't won since 1980. That's a viewpoint. Pain is the ruler that you use. No pain, I'm doing pretty good. Losing every round, but I'm doing pretty good.
Everything's relative.
Here's a guy. When I came in at 3 o'clock this afternoon, here's a guy who was laying out on the grass taking sun outside, and he didn't have the car fare to go back to his hotel, so he stayed here until 10 o'clock.
I saw him in the runway. He is what you would call in the sports vernacular a free spirit.
Yes, he is. Refreshing outside the ring, but inside the ring, I'm afraid he's here to do what George Chuvalo did so many times, see how many punches he can absorb.
A human punching bag, but Bobby Czyz would like to end this thing already and move on. That one almost ended it there. A big right hand from Czyz.
You know, I kid around about George Chuvalo, but he was a warrior, and he was a very top fighter. This is not a top fighter. This is just a journeyman who takes punches.
Ferocious short left hand by Bobby Czyz that got the attention of O'Mara, but O'Mara staying right in there.
Yeah.
How does Bobby Czyz look at this point after that long layoff?
He looks very sharp, but he's getting slower and slower as you know, this guy takes the punishment and he's not moving. Bobby's getting a little frustrated, and he's slowing down on the jab. It's not as strong as it was, but to me he looks great. I mean, to me he looks like, hey, he's taking up where he left off. All those beautiful combinations that are his trademark, intelligent fighting, moving the fighter around. Bobby's a very smart fighter.
There he doubles up on the left, and another left to the head of O'Mara. Czyz started out fast, and now he seems to be pacing himself more.
I don't know if it's pacing or if that's as fast as he can go right now.
Box out.
Well, I'm giving our old partner the benefit of the doubt.
I'm trying to be impartial.
Less than a minute 20 in the fourth. Less than a minute remaining in this round. And Ferdy, I got to be honest with you, it is not the easiest thing in the world to watch a guy that we have worked with, that we have been in many fights, many meetings, many personal situations with over the last few years, and now seeing him in the ring.
Many rehearsals. Just think of the hours we spent rehearsing with Bobby. No, I tell you what, hard is this. You spend 15 years with Muhammad Ali, and the first television job you get, prime time, is to do the Ali Spinks fight. That was hard. That's tough. That was tough. And watching him lose and trying to be impartial, that was tough.
So on a minuscule level, I can relate to what you went through. Less than 20 seconds, round 4. George O'Mara in the very patriotic trunks, inactive from 82 through 87. He had 3 fights in 88, inactive again from 89 through 91. Then he had 4 fights in 92, 4 in 93, and his only fight in 94, the loss to Garcia.
Well, those trunks were really with him in Vietnam. They were part of his commander's team. Let's listen to Bobby's corner.
I'll let you hit, right?
Hit him.
Let's look at these patented chest combinations. I mean, he gets them off. Look at that. And he starts off with an uppercut. Now, that's when you can fight. Now, let's see what it does with that hook that Bobby does. Oh, 2, 3 times with a hook. He started with a hook to the body, 3 hooks to the head. That's good fighting. No question about it. Bobby's got all the instruments of boxing. He's got combinations. He's got everything. But, you know, his physical stamina. It's been off a long time. He's had really severe injuries to his back and neck. Let's see what happens.
All right, Ferdy, round 5. And like a good analyst, Bobby Czyz has this one analyzed pretty well. He told us before the fight that it could go into the later rounds, and that O'Mara stands in there. He's tough. He has a good chin, and he absorbs a lot of punishment. And that pretty much sizes it up, what we've been seeing.
Well, I mean, the other thing about O'Mara is he stands right in front of you. I mean, he doesn't even try to get away from it. I mean, He's like a heavy bag just hanging from a cord. I mean, he has not made a move to get away from Bobby's punches. He's right in front of him. Bobby comes right down the pike with the right hand. That should have just absolutely floored him, and it doesn't.
And Czyz really continues to box well. Missed with a wild right there. Good duck under move by George O'Mara.
Yeah, but he didn't duck that one. That right hand landed like a gong. Just then. Nice moves by Bobby. Frisky moves by Bobby. Bouncing around, kind of twirling him.
And despite the long layoff, looks aerobically fit.
Well, his legs look good. I mean, Bobby's always had great legs. Look at them. They look like they belong under a piano. Yeah. They're huge legs. I mean, he's always had that. He's always had the ability to have a great base. To knock Bobby off his chin, you got to hit him with a truck off his feet. Excuse me.
Has the good foundation.
Oh, what a right hand by Bobby, right off the temple, and nothing happens to Man Mountain Dean here. But another right hand. Wow, Bobby's winging him with everything he's got, trying to get this thing over with.
The face of George O'Mara bloodied. The nose seems to be broken from a punch early in the fight. We're in round 5.
Right, come on, let him go. Come back.
But O'Mara hanging in there against the comeback of Bobby Czyz.
Well, Bobby Czyz is right at the gates of desperation. Here's where he wanted the fight to end in the 5th round. If given his druthers, he's had his work. He'd like to go home now.
Well, he said hopefully his speed will compensate. We shall see. So far, it certainly has, but he'd like to end it right here.
Good holding, come on. Right, come on.
And the third man in the ring, the referee Charlie Hammond, has to break him up. Combination by Czyz, but not really phasing O'Mara that much. Wiping the blood off his brow. Says, what's this? Oh, that good double up on the jab by Czyz.
Bobby breathing very heavily from his mouth. His mouth is open, and he is really trying to finish this off here. Bobby is giving it a good shot here, but he makes it to the bell. Does O'Mara. Let's follow him to the corner and see what they do to his nose. They better get. The one thing they have not done is to put a pad of adrenaline up there. So he's got a little tiny Q-tip. He needs a roll up there.
Give what I told you. The right hand. See, you'll get away from that left jab of his. If you get down to that right hand of the body, okay? The right hand of the body.
See that? That Q-tip's not enough to stop the blood. If you had a dental roll full of adrenaline, it stops it. All right, let's take a look at how Bobby tries to finish this with a right hand. Whack! Right there. Right on the ear. And then comes back with a hook, which misses. But you can see the evil intention of Bobby Czyz. He just wants out of here. Let's take a look at the accuracy of Bobby. Good jab. Another jab. That's two. That already bothers his nose. You can see he's doing that. And a right hand. Flash right hand right up. Lands, but nothing happens. And you know Bobby can punch. We're not talking about a guy that can't take you out of here. Bobby's always had a stiff punch since he was a young kid.
We're past the halfway point of this scheduled 10-rounder. Bobby Czyz coming into this fight, considering his opponent here tonight, a heavyweight. He's been in there with some names like Ron Lyle and Yaki Lopez and Alex Garcia. He's a couple of 2-3 pounds heavier than Czyz. And now again trying to pull his way into Czyz's territory.
And by the way, that's his fight. His fight, O'Mara, is to come in real close so he doesn't get jabbed silly in those hooks, and then just maul and brawl and hope that he can butt or hope that he can land in close. As long as he's in close, he's not getting devastated by Bobby's pinpoint right hands and jabs and hooks. So that's his, and hoping to make Bobby tired. So that's his fight inside. If Bobby allows him to get inside, it's going to be a long night. Like that. See, he's right in there.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in round number 6.
Let him go. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Czyz wanted this to end a round or two ago.
Let him go. Let him go. Back up. Come on, go.
Going for that target, that nose once again, is Bobby Czyz.
Let him go. Back up. Come on, come on.
And if there is a boxing purist somewhere in America keeping score, let me point out that Bobby is pitching a shutout. A rather redundant statement, 50-45, but wow, every round.
The awkward style of George O'Mara. He wants to get into a brawl here, but Czyz trying to keep his distance to continue to flick that jab.
Well, he will get now to the points where Bobby will need this right here to rest. That's where Bobby's going to get his little rest. He won't need to stand outside and box anymore because he is going to look at that.
Big
Beautiful
uppercut by Czyz, followed by a swift right hand that got through. Very effective punches. They all connected.
Look at that. Inside, Bobby's landing an inside uppercut. Look at the way his head comes back.
O'Mara trying to fight back. Crowd getting behind the underdog. Less than 30 seconds, round 6.
Why, this is one tough way to find out if you still got the energy after 22 months off and a very bad back and neck. This is a tough way to do it.
March 19th of 93, Bobby Czyz hit by a car in the driveway of his house in New Jersey, injuring his back, hip, and neck, and telling us he fell 65 to 70% entering this fight tonight. Well, that's it for round 6. We want to remind you that coming up next week, Showtime Championship Boxing will turn the spotlight on the super middleweight division. The Fight Doctor and I will be ringside in London, England, to broadcast an exciting championship doubleheader. WBC super middleweight champion Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer, will defend his title against fellow countryman and #1 ranked contender Henry Wharton. Also featured that night, WBA super middleweight champ Michael second to none. He'll face the challenge of highly ranked contender Steve Little. Bruce Beck and Bobby Czyz, of all people, will anchor this special transatlantic telecast from our studios in New York City, and this super middleweight championship doubleheader will be broadcast on Saturday, February 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time.
Come on, Bobby, suck it up. Let's go.
Well, the last words to Bobby Czyz. Come on, Bobby, suck it up.
Tommy Parks has worked for him since the time he started, and we know him very well around the Tampa area. He's a good trainer, tough conditioner. And when he says at the beginning of the 7th round, suck it up, it must mean that Bobby's complaining about being very tired.
Tommy Parks is to Bobby Czyz what Emmanuel Stewart is to Tommy Hearns.
That's true. There's a great teamwork developed between, and nice shot by O'Mara right off the chin of Bobby Czyz. There's a great teamship as well as love developed between two men over all those years.
Great
Angelo Dundee and Muhammad Ali are the fighters that he had. They loved each other. It was a great feeling.
All right, round 7. This going longer than Bobby Czyz certainly anticipated and wanted. And now O'Mara going to the belly of Czyz. You saw him double over. Less than 2 minutes in the 7th round, scheduled for 10. But as we mentioned at the outset, Czyz was definitely concerned because of O'Mara, his awkward style and his size, that this fight would go late round. And now his back and his neck and his hip will be tested. Now Czyz dancing around a little bit.
Yeah, just trying to get a little break in the action, get his arms back up, because the longer this goes, the lower.
O'Mara just walked right into that one, Ferdy.
Yeah, and it was right on the nose. But you notice how Bobby's arms are getting lower and lower and lower, and he's trying to dance a little bit to get away to find time. He's got to find time. He's hit this guy with his best Sunday shots for 3 or 4 rounds, and nothing happened. He's still there, and he looks like he's going to be there.
O'Mara might set a record for most times nose broken in one fight.
Well, as they tell you in the corner, well, it's already broken. It can't get broken any more than that, so you might as well keep on fighting. Cold people in the corner.
Bloodthirsty.
Less
than a minute.
What I ever did in the corner, I don't know.
Now the infighting.
Whoa.
Wild miss. George O'Mara, not even close. Czyz just too fast for O'Mara.
Czyz is not getting any punishment. I mean, it's not that he's getting hit a lot. The blood on his trunks are off O'Mara, not off him. See now Bobby jumping up and down. That means his back's okay, or else you don't do that. I mean, you know, medical prognosis, hey, looks good. Everything he's done right now looks good. If his back is not in spasm, if his neck's not bothering him, he's passed the test.
As we head for the bell, round 7. Another round won by Czyz.
Unbelievable.
Yes. Give me a little help here. Hold his trunks out. Bobby, you don't have to lay there. I know he is. You can't bunch if he can't reach. If you give him a step back a little bit, right? You can't reach it. You can't bunch you if you can't reach it.
Just do it nice. Don't worry about the knockout. You look good every line.
There's Bobby. When you go in the clinch, you declare both his arms. The only thing he's doing it wrong is in the clinch, right? You grab both his arms, or you walk to your left. He's hitting your head, you walk in.
You know, this isn't all one way. O'Mara does have his moments. There you go. Nice little right hand to wake Bobby up a little bit, saying this ain't all one way. I can punch too. Only he has no steam on his punches, but, you know, he is fighting back.
Round number 8. Well, Bobby Czyz did say, I need the work. He's getting it.
He needs the work. He needed the test. I mean, this not only gave him the workout, should give him a great deal of confidence in that he knows that the structures are sound in his back and his neck. And that will give a man like Bobby, who has a great deal of intelligence about himself and his condition, a great deal of confidence. He now go in and say, listen, I'm 90% myself, 95% is good. And so I think this is a fight that Bobby needed.
Well, he will sleep well tonight, that is for sure.
I thought of that about 3 rounds ago. I said, boy, he is going to have no problem sleeping tonight.
He told me his back still tightens up from time to time. The neck problems also flare up. I think he'll put Ben Gay out of business tonight.
Did you ever brush your teeth with Ben Gay? I did once. It's not nice.
I don't even want to get into that. Less than 2 minutes to go in this 8th round here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Several of the Charlotte Hornets basketball players are looking on. And you talked about Bobby Czyz's injury. That is an injury riddled ball club, just hanging by the skin of their teeth with Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson out. But some of the other guys are here. I think Mourning's in the crowd as well. Midway through the 8th.
I saw the old Heat coach, Rothstein.
Ron Rothstein.
Yeah, he looked very well and says he still follows the Heat, so we in Miami have hope.
The Cleveland Cavaliers will be here to play the Charlotte Hornets when they clear away the ring. Oh, a very tired, fatigued George O'Mara just hanging on.
Oh, Bobby is looking very, very, very saggy. He is sagging badly right now. His face is sagging, his mouth is open. He really would like to not be here.
They're both just trying to dig to the ribs.
Back out, come on, back out.
You know, even as tired as he is, Bobby gets in some beautiful, beautiful punches. He has a world of experience, this Czyz, and he has studied boxing so much that he just knows how to punch from all angles. He knows every trick in boxing. He's really he's come into his own now.
Purdy, as we've learned from being around him on such an intimate basis over the last few years, he's really a student of the game.
He really is. He studies it a great deal. Nothing helps him right now, however.
So we're at the beautiful Coliseum, built in 1988 for the NBA's expansion Hornets, the state-of-the-art arena affectionately known as the Hive. Yes, the Hive.
The dermatological term or the B term?
They like to buzz around and sting their opponents. We talked about the Hornets in the house. How about this guy? Bertie, that's the shortest man in the NBA. The lovable 5'3" Muggsy Bogues.
I watched him play. I couldn't believe it. He is so good. I watched him play. I couldn't believe a guy that small is in the NBA.
He had 16 assists against the team I broadcast for last week here in Charlotte, the Warriors, but the Warriors prevailed.
Okay. Speed, get power up. Power.
Is that his mouthpiece that looks that ugly?
I certainly hope it's his mouthpiece.
I certainly hope so, or else he's got to pass to the dental clinic to get some work done. Boy, does that look ugly.
Round 9. It's been a lot of toiling here for Bobby Czyz in his first fight in 22 months, since May 1992, when he recorded a unanimous decision over Donnie Lalonde in Las Vegas to retain the WBA cruiserweight title.
I sure hope he doesn't get cut here. They're really bumping heads. They are really bumping heads. See Bobby just sort of give it one of those shrugs like to the referee saying, hey, keep getting hit in the head. You're not saying anything.
The referee is Charlie Hammond. 3 judges from Charlotte. Uppercut. Good combination by Bobby Czyz.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody get hit that many uppercuts in a row. I mean, Bobby just seems to have found the path right under his chin.
Yet the 38-year-old O'Mara showing much fortitude.
He is what you would call on the top of the list of opponents. I mean, he's 38 years old, haven't won since 1980, and he's still boxing. And can't go down. Or won't go down, I should say, not can't.
His latest acting credit, 2 episodes of a new show called Briscoe County. He serves as technical advisor, stuntman, and of all things, he plays a boxing referee. Past the midway point of round 9. Bobby Czyz has won every round.
Oh, what a big sigh Bobby just gave. He backed up going, oh, how much more of this have I got to go through? And he's only got to go through about 3 more minutes of it after this round, because it's going to be all over with, and it looks like this guy's going to hang in.
And he takes Czyz right into the ropes with him.
And the referee actually has the temerity to say, come on, Bobby, quit holding.
Yeah.
Break, let him go, no punching.
Bobby very worried about those cuts. He wiped his brow and looked at his glove, thinking he might have been cut just then, but it was the other guy's blood.
He has been complaining about the head of George O'Mara from the beginning. Now there's a strand of tape hanging from the left glove of O'Mara. But not enough at this particular juncture to stop the festivities. Less than 15 seconds, round 9.
But they should go into the corner between rounds and don't fix that tape. Oh,
big
what
left
a
hand.
beautiful hook. I mean, Bobby came through with it. I mean, his whole body was behind that. Here's the guy still there.
That may be the 3rd broken nose of the night.
To the corner, kicked his stool out. Kicked his stool out.
Come on, tape. George, do you want to hear a joke or you want some instructions? Instructions. You want instructions? Okay. Go out there, balls out. Balls out. Absolutely. This is the last round. I got a ready card. Look at the comments. More. Hey.
Let's take a look at that meteor left that Bobby lost. Whoa, his whole body went with it. And didn't do anything. Here it is. There's another look. As if that wasn't bad enough. Wong, all the way across. Isn't this guy an amazing character? You want to know your nose is broken, or you want to hear some instructions? And he said, we got to go all out. He says, yeah, all out. This is the time I take him out. I mean, this guy is priceless.
Here we go. They touch gloves. Round 10. That was one of the priceless lines between rounds. You want to know your nose is broken or you want some instructions? And O'Mara just smiled at the Pat Gucci.
Yeah. He does not, oh, now that one, Bobby butted real hard. Bobby was the culprit that time. And here's O'Mara being exhorted by the crowd to go, because they kind of got the underdog. They kind of like it. They kind of figure he came here with nothing. He stood up to Bobby Czyz. He's taken all the punishment, and he captured their heart.
10th and final round. Bobby Czyz did not want it to go into the 10th round. Still flinging that shotgun jab. Winning every round, but didn't want to go this long.
And the way Bobby bounces around, it indicates there's nothing wrong with his back right now. I mean, you can't bounce around like that if your back is aching or threatening to go into spasm, I'll tell you.
Less than 2 minutes in the final round.
But Bobby is weary, as well he should be.
And he prognosticated this fight very well. Way of O'Mara.
Is that the same as predicted?
You got that.
I got it.
Well, you know, hanging around Czyz, you pick up these big words.
Yeah,
He's a walking thesaurus.
he's a sesquipedalian.
That too. Halfway point, round 10.
You know, you can work and work and work in the gym, but there's nothing like this to give you an idea of where you're at.
That left hand just sent O'Mara back. Plenty of power behind that shot.
Now when he goes back to the corner, Goosen says, and now I can tell you, not only is your nose broken, but you're cut as well. Now that the fight's over, I can give you that piece of information. Well, tough is a word that comes to mind. It's foolish, maybe also, but tough. Tough.
Well,
funny guy, tough guy.
Engaging personality.
One of those free spirits that kind of hangs around the clouds of boxing. You just get them every once in a while. Strauss, this guy. Just these guys that are opponents. Tex Cobb is another one.
Well, Czyz did say his opponent was a tough fighter, but as I mentioned in the very early going, tough doesn't necessarily mean you're a good fighter. It means you're able to absorb a lot. And remember, we were ringside for the Razor Ruddock-Anthony Wade fight. Ruddock did not look good against Anthony Wade in Ruddock's comeback fight. And I asked Bobby about that, and he's very cognizant of that fight. He didn't want that to happen to him.
You know, and finishing that as part of news, he found he had grossly infected tonsils. They took him out. He'd been swallowing that poison. That's the end of that fight.
It's over. And a little smile from Bobby Czyz's face. This one goes the distance. It goes the distance.
So to finish the thought, Razor Ruddock is well, and he's on the way back. That could have been one of the reasons, but he's got to get back in the gym. That's the end of that thought.
As we continue the thought revolving around the comeback of Bobby Czyz, who had to face a tough kid here in George O'Mara, kid, 38 years old. The 32-year-old Bobby Czyz lets out a smile. But the fans in support of the underdog, George O'Mara. They were all for Bobby in the early going when he first came into the ring. But it's funny how things can change in that form. But Bobby Czyz, his first fight in 22 months, nearly 2 years, since May 8th, 1992. It had to feel great just to get back into the ring and get back into the mix, into the swing of things. Continues his course toward Tommy Hearns. Hopefully we'll get a chance to interact with Bobby Czyz later on and get his insights and feelings into his comeback fight tonight. He hit the nail right on the head, though, in predicting what would happen here tonight. He thought it would go into the late rounds, but it looked as if his back and hip and neck were okay, based on the fact that he was dancing around side to side on the balls of his feet in the later rounds, and that is an indication that he seemed to be okay, at least from our vantage point. He suffered severe injuries in a car accident back in March of 1993. It seems to have recovered very well. Chappie Czyz, the pride of the Garden State of New Jersey.
Very slick man. He's a good man, huh?
making his comeback here tonight. The former two-time world champion looking to make it 41-5 over his roller coaster 14-year boxing career. The only thing that comes to my mind right now is why is it taking so long to tabulate the cards? It was a clear, unanimous decision with Bobby Czyz winning every round, all 10 rounds, at least from our broadcast position. And I think you would agree at home. So why is it taking so long to get the cards available to Jimmy Lennon Jr.? Leo Johnson, Johnny Richardson, Murray Rosen are your three judges, all from Charlotte. This has to give confidence, albeit false confidence, to George O'Mara. Bloodied face, what looked to be a broken nose. So these could be trying minutes for Bobby Czyz as he waits. He's been through too much garbage over the years in terms of decisions, but there's no question as to who wins this fight. Apparently they are finally ready. As George O'Mara leads the cheers, let's go up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, John Richardson scores at 189. Judge at ringside, Murray Rosen, 100-86. And judge at ringside, Leo Johnson, 100-71. All three in favor of the winner, Bobby "Chappie" Czyz.
So there you have it. Some anxious moments as we awaited the decision. I have no idea why it took so long. A unanimous decision by Bobby Czyz. 100-89, 100-86, 100-71 over George O'Mara. So, coming up here at the Charlotte Coliseum in North Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it is 1 down, 1 to go. Thomas Hitman Hearns, Freddie Delgado for the NABF Cruiserweight Championship. And there's your fight ticket. The Hitman looking to defend his NABF title against a tough puncher from Puerto Rico, Freddie Delgado. Right now, let's get post-fight reaction from our first bout. We go up to the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, standing alongside his old partner. Here's Ferdy.
Well, Bobby, you predicted this like you predicted the last 2 years. You said if you couldn't get him in 5, it was going to be a long night. It was a long night.
Well, he went 10 rounds with the likes of Ron Lyle, Alvarado, Yaqui Lopez, and last month, Alex Stewart. It was Alex Stewart? No, Garcia. And, you know, these are heavyweights at 225, 230, 240 pounds. No one could get him out before 10 rounds, and I knew if I didn't get him real early that I was going to have trouble, so we wanted to box. We had some difficulty with the back in training. We had snow days, about 11. You know, it's been a difficult time. 2.5, almost 2 years off. And, you know, Tommy wanted to work. He said, if you don't stop me in the first 3 rounds, take the decision. But he was butting me, like it was coming to his head.
We saw the butt.
My eye, my mouth, everything was bleeding, and, you know, it got a little difficult for me. So I've used a jab. I used a stiff jab. Sometimes worked the left hook off it. But he would come charging in. And he's strong. He fights heavyweight. So I tied him up and held him.
But let's take a look at you in round 9. Here's where you launched that meteor-like left hook. You kept hitting him. Now, Bobby, you're an analyst. Tell me.
Well, I'm trying to suck him in a little bit. He comes in low, and I hit him good. I hit him solid, but I hit him solid for a long time. I hit him early in the first couple of rounds with my best stuff, and I saw it was going to be a long night.
Second view, Bobby, was the same thing.
You know, Tommy said, don't worry about it. Don't push the back. Don't stress it. Again, it's right on the money. I catch him coming in. I'm coming in. Some of my best shots, but again, he's a heavyweight who come down.
He's the kind of guy that takes everything that everybody gives him, Bobby. But the thing was to test your neck and your back. You were bouncing. You looked like your back wasn't bothering.
It bothered me some. I won't lie to you. It bothered me some. It's not 100%. It's about 65, 70%. And Tommy kept telling me, don't try and knock him out. Just work the jab. Tie him up when you have to. He's leading with his head. Don't be careless. Don't get cut. You haven't been cut. Been boxing 20 years, amateur and professional. Don't get cut. And Tommy said, just box me as a jab. And, you know, the crowd doesn't like me holding. I'm not used to being booed, but it was a smart thing to do. Meldrick Taylor would have beat Julio Cesar Chavez if he did the same thing.
Yeah, I think what you wanted to do, you did. You came in, you get the work, you tested your back, you won 10 rounds out of 10. You can't ask for any more. Now we're looking for you. Go get ready. We're looking for you at the corner, and we'll see you with Steve Albert, who's just waiting to talk into this microphone, Bobby. Back to Steve.